that's what, when I messaged you and like I reread it later, I'm like, it just sounds so like,
Yeah.
it's just like, hey. I actually laughed. I'm like, that is, out of context, is the shittiest messages. Off the back of like, there's no off limits, right?
Yeah.
You know, cool. What's your credit like?
Yeah.
You got guarantor me? No.
You're like, hey, we can talk about anything. And I was like, yeah, man, anything you want. We can always talk about anything you want. And then I'm like, oh, I wonder if he's going to be like, yeah, my dick's real itchy, man.
I'm not going to go on you.
I think I caught something.
Because that night, about the, you know,
I don't want to, don't even bring the ear
I haven't
up.
even told Morgan, like, there's
Yeah.
stuff I can't unhear.
Yeah.
He trapped me in the bathroom, the shit that he was saying. And he don't remember it. Like, I'm like, I know a lot about you.
Yeah.
Graphic detail. He's like, come on, it can't be that bad. I'm
Yeah.
like, legs in the air. What does that mean to you?
Yeah.
He's like, well, you know what I'm talking about. He's like, oh God, like, it was doing this, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's the hardest I think I've laughed in recent memory, like the ear fucking.
Yeah.
It's all about the ear, like.
We can't, because obviously my wife, obviously Jen's heard all that, and she can't look at some people the same now.
Is that what it's like for?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. She's just like, I can never see him as the same person.
You heard what happened when Morgan took, like, because Morgan crashed the night at mine.
Yeah.
So we dropped him home. Did you hear about what happened in the car? Has he run through all this with you, Morgan?
No.
He,
That night.
Mm.
So for everyone listening, because we've actually started recording.
Oh. Okay.
So what we're talking about is...
We can beep out names.
Yeah, well, we're going to.
Don't have to.
What we're talking about is I had a party at my place. It was meant to be outdoors, but the weather packed up, so we had it inside.
We ended up in your living room.
It was the meat-a-thon.
Wasn't it dressed as a Mexican?
No, that was a different night.
And I just dressed like my normal dress. And,
You just dressed like normal.
and it looked like I fit in really well.
Yeah, you looked Mexican. It was the meat-a-thon. No, it first came out at that Mexican party.
Yeah, and graphic.
Graphic detail. And then it came out again
Yeah,
at
like
the meat-a-thon.
Yeah.
When I say meat-a-thon, also people should know what I don't mean. There was a lot of meat there, like
I think
beef, pork, chicken.
Yeah, you're gonna have to really break it down.
Yeah, it wasn't a meat-a-thon like a bunch of dudes and a guy, in a room,
Yeah,
lubing up,
looping up, just
circle jerking and shit.
yeah, like awkward, like heterosexual, like flaccid jerking too.
Yeah, no, that was a few nights later at the flaccid party.
Like the flaccid party, like no stiffs allowed.
Yeah, like, yeah, we called it the outing party. So we're here, we're in my shed, and we're recording this. Do we want to give an explanation of why we're recording it, or do we just go into whatever?
No, because at the end of the day, like, I'm sure we can go through and edit shit we don't like. This,
It'll
we're
organically
just
come
flying without a net right now. Like,
Yeah.
instead of talking about it, we're actually doing it.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're sort of feeling our way through things at the moment. Like, but the whole point of it is, well, we've been discussing. I mean, when he says we're in a shed, let's just like P's done a lot of. It looks like, I don't know if anyone's seen the whole, Between Two Ferns or Zach Galifianakis. It looks like that. Like there's fairy lights. We've got a green screen in case we want to, like, I don't know,
Green screen it,
stand in front of something.
in case we feel like going to Paris.
Yeah, what I was gonna say that, like, I want to stand in front of the Eiffel Tower. Fuck,
That's weird how when I think of green screen, I instantly go to Paris. I don't know why.
Eiffel Tower, like
Like, you can go anywhere.
we're quite not faggy. Anyway,
We should green screen it, and the green screen's just the other side of the shed.
but not get too weird and actually play the Whose Line Is It Anyway games.
No.
Otherwise, we might attract the wrong kind of.
Those improv crowds.
Oh, those improv crowds, like, oh, and then we'll start using terms like, oh, it's so camp.
Yeah.
Don't mind the rustling, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm having candy.
Funny you bring up the rustling, because the reason I said we're in the shed is because it is. We are in a shed. It's a wooden shed with a metal structure, but because it's very windy today, it's creaking. Not creaking, but like you can hear. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear the creaking.
Like you can hear the shed. I don't know if it's the mic can pick it up, but you can hear the shed like
I'm
wrestling.
also well aware that I've got my back to all the junk. I'm looking at like look at like a bookcase with
Yeah.
stuff on it and plants.
Yeah.
Are these actual real plants?
No.
Either way, well done, sir.
Yeah.
But like we've been talking about different things we want to do.
Yeah.
So the podcasts, different comedy related things, like a YouTube channel, like different stuff on it, like. And then it's just come up recently about mental health.
Yeah.
And all of this is going to unfold like as we talk, but I so I might as well talk on my behalf. Like I've had crippling clinical depression for quite a few years now. I've gone through the ringer of the mental health system, different medications. So I'm medicated when I should be, but nothing works or reacts with me. And I don't know, basically all these years I've had it, but last week I reached out like for help in a very urgent way. Like I knew, like left to my own devices, I wasn't gonna sort of maybe see the morning perhaps. And then one thing that you were saying was like how you always admire how open and honest and how easily it is for me to talk about it, which then sort of brought upon your story, how you're not so good at that.
Correct.
So to hold me accountable for not like doing anything stupid to myself, we have to do this fucking podcast.
That's right.
Because I'm not a shit friend. I wish I was sometimes. I would just completely ignore that whole, you're accountable. I'd be like, fuck your accountability.
Shove it up your ass.
Shove it up your ass.
You saying that as you're falling off the cliff?
Into like a deep river. It was just a
deep
epic
river.
belly flop in the end.
Yeah, and so that was the point of this, is that like we have been talking about it, about doing this for ages, and it is a good way for cows to sort of release a bit of emotion.
Unloading the emotional backpack.
Yeah, like just sort of have something, but also have something to do.
Yeah, I'd have a boring
Do you know what I
life.
mean?
But really, the main reason is you're the not to put a spotlight on you or lay down on a bloody, leather couch.
Yeah.
Like, listening.
But that would be nice. I mean, I wouldn't be like, what's with the leather couch?
Well, it depends, really. Like, is it a hot day? Like, have you ever
that's a good point.
fell
Yes.
asleep on a leather couch and woke up just hydrated and stuck?
My dad lives in Whitianga, up in the Coromandel, and where it is often very hot, they get great weather a lot of the year, and he has a leather lounge suite, and every summer I hate it. So one thing is that you sit there sweltering, and it's leather, and after a while you have to unpeel yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're wearing shorts or anything where your skin is touching it, you have to
You have to lay down a couple of bath towels.
Yeah, you do. You
We
almost
have
want
leather
to...
at home.
Yeah.
That's why I'm never in the living room.
That's it.
I treat hydration seriously, but all the yapping about we should do this and do that, and we've definitely got some stuff that we're gonna do.
Yeah.
This all of a sudden showed great urgency to do, and without trying to, I guess, for lack of a better term, be entertaining, or sharing laughs. We're not even trying. We're just talking.
Yeah.
Without even thinking, like.
That was the idea, is that you could... Not you. I don't mean you. I mean we could talk about anything we want. It could be funny. It could be not be funny. It could be whatever. But either way, what the idea is that the people who are listening then keep us both accountable to keep doing it.
The small amount of people I've told about this, like, they're all dudes. Like, 100%.
They're all dudes. Yeah.
Like, I talk to girls too. Like, they're heartless.
Let's be honest. That's the
Cold-blooded.
core audience we're going to appeal to.
Yeah. Like, because women are, they have no heart. They're,
I wouldn't go that far, but...
no, what I'm saying, like, the amount of, like, focus that's been on men's mental health over the last, maybe, 5 years? And we're still, I don't know, trying to find ways. Like, I think Mike King is a great example of someone who took his platform of his name and trying to, like, change the narrative. You're not weak if you talk about, like, people need to quickly realize that the whole mental health thing, like depression and anxiety, is a disease. It's not by choice. Yeah. I'm not saying boo-hoo because I lost my job or misses this year or something. This is a long-term day by day battle.
Yeah, sometimes hour by hour.
Yeah, lately it's been minute by minute with me.
Yeah.
Like, that, like, and to be like the sufferer, but also being the conqueror in that situation where
Yeah.
I can easily help people, but I really find it hard to help myself. Like, but over the years and years of having it, you sort of develop all these different systems and ways to get through things and how to cope and
Yeah.
different, like, and being able to talk about it. Finding someone to talk to is hard.
Yeah.
I got people that absolutely like love me to death. They can't empathize because they can't relate.
Yeah.
Or some people don't know how to react and they go weird about it, and
Yeah.
it's sort of, finding someone to talk to is hard enough,
Yeah.
and talking about things is tough. Like, I find it quite easy. It's finding the right people to talk to is hard. You don't want to like look like you're a nut job or you're a drama queen or
Yeah.
all those negative like taglines that come with it.
But you know what else I find is that often you get people who they say they're listening, but really they're waiting for their turn to talk.
Yeah, there's a
Or-
common.
Yeah, or they just want to be like, oh, well, this is my story.
But you can see it on their face, like while you're talking. So, and
Yeah.
then that's their reply. You're sort of like nodding along, listening. But already in my head, I'm like, never again. I'm never gonna.
Yeah.
Next time, like, how's your week been? Good.
Yeah.
No, how are you? Yeah, I'm great, man.
Yeah.
Because last time I went down this road.
Don't mind that. We'll cut that.
Jesus, that gave me
I didn't even know what that was.
I don't. It sounded like something like a can,
Yeah.
like a.
Yeah. It probably was a can. It is very windy today.
We're like, it's an action-packed studio.
Yeah.
It's not calling it a shed; it's a studio.
It's a shed.
These motherfuckers don't know that. Like,
I mean,
we're just voices on YouTube or whatever where they're listening to right now. Like, they don't know.
do you know, I haven't even thought about how we put this out.
Well,
I'm just like,
do you know what would be so
I have
cool?
no clue what to do with this recording.
I don't know how to like. I when it for me like everything sort of passed because I was a Snapchat every day. Like, I was one of those dickies like all about followers and blah blah blah. Like, but a lot's changed to Snapchat. It was so easy. You just use like maybe 5 filters.
Oh, yeah.
And that's it now. Like, have you seen this whole TikTok thing like going on?
Yeah.
Like
I have it. I have it on my
editing
phone.
is just like, I wish I really, like editing is everything now. Like, it would be cool.
Audio editing, I'm awesome at.
I was talking about like say,
But video editing,
like the Ricky Gervais, like it's like him, like the guy with glasses. I can't remember his name.
the
ever.
big tall dude, Stephen
Yeah.
Merchant.
And Carl Pilkington.
Oh, yeah.
And they're sitting there talking, and like, because now like you can, if we had a camera like a couple angles of us, you take their photos and just make it animated. That would be perfect.
Can you animate things?
I don't. You're asking the wrong dude. Like, I asked my daughter how to use technology. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not good at that stuff. I can video edit.
It's far
A little.
better than I can, yeah.
Yeah, I'm good at audio editing because I used to do the show on the radio, and but other than that,
Something that's like tangible, watchable, like so we can put on YouTube. Sort of
well, next time we do it, we'll set up the cameras.
yeah, and
That's
figure
easy.
out-
That only takes like 5 minutes.
Figure out how we can get it animated.
Yeah, like
Well,
the
if worse
lighting
comes
gear
to
is
worse-
literally over there.
We could just have us, but like animated. If it's an easy fix, is
Yeah.
the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And then we can. We really should have talked about this. Maybe blueprinted or quarterback this before we recorded. And now we're
We
talking
really
about
should
how-
have.
We're basically talking about how we can make money out of this, which is not the whole idea at all. But that's how it's sounding
Well, that's for your brother.
for my brother.
We need to monetize this for your brother.
For my brother, 'cause you can't pay his bills on time.
Yeah, yeah. So we need to
Yeah,
we need to do this for him. For
Did
Pete.
you not see, like you get final demand, like your power's gonna be cut off, close the business Friday. You didn't see any of the lead up warnings,
Yeah.
but you happened to see that one, and
Yeah.
now you're asking for help, but you're not. You're just saying what's happening in a ball of stress.
Yeah, you should have called it the first notice and organised something.
I'm just like, so what do you need? Just stop beating around the bush. He's like,
Yeah.
$286 by Friday. I'm like, how much of that do you have? He's like, about 50.
Yeah,
I'm like, you need $236. And I looked at Mum, and Mum sort of looked down, and I laughed out loud. It was kind of like, when I was a kid, like asking Mum and Dad, like, hey, is it alright if I get like a Sega Mega Drive too, and they'd be like, nah, good one, son. Or the other thing I wanted as a kid is, remember that Sega lock-on? It was like...
The gun.
Yeah. I wanted that so bad. And
Yeah. Do you know what I wanted as a kid? Like, desperately wanted, more than anything. Because we did have a Sega. But
Sega Master System.
we had a Sega Master System, yeah. Although, in saying that, we got ours when, like... You know when, like, a console comes out, and then after, like, 5 years, they're affordable? Yeah, we got ours about then.
Right. Like, that was when Sega Master System games were like $110 each.
We're still PlayStation games now.
Like, gee, like, man, I wanted a Mega Drive so bad. I only had a Master System right up to intermediate.
Yeah. But I wanted the Optimus Prime, the Transformer, the big one. Do you remember the big one?
Is that the one that turned into the big truck and you can drive cars into the...
Yes. So it came with a trailer. Because you had a little one, which was like your $30 Kmart special, right? And it came with a trailer. And the trailer had a little buggy that shot out. That I had, right?
No, I'm talking the big man.
But I wanted, the big motherfucker. Like, the one that was like, it took like 2 people to transform this thing.
Yeah.
I desperately, that's what I wanted more
I
than
remember
anything.
playing with it in Kmart,
Yeah.
you know, knowing all too well I'm
Never going to have this. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that.
And I really also wanted the Megatron gun. Do you remember Megatron gun? They were so rare. Toy World, I think, was the only people that sold them.
What does the gun do? Like,
It didn't do anything.
just sound effects.
I don't even know if it did that. But it transformed from Megatron into a gun.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what Megatron was. Like, in the cartoon, when he transformed into a gun.
Was this back in the day when Toy World was a tiny little shop that had the connects?
It was on the back of Decker.
Oh, the toy warehouse, not Toy World.
Oh, okay, sorry, Toy
with
Warehouse.
those like those British soldiers as the...
That's one.
Wow, back in Decker.
Back in Decker days, yeah.
Do you remember where it was before it was back at Decker?
No.
It was where the post shop is next to Brewers is now.
Oh, yeah?
And like next to that was a little Spacey's parlour.
I don't remember that.
Oh man, yeah. And then
We were probably too poor for that.
Oh, I'm not saying that I frequented there. Like
You just knew of it.
knew of it. Like
One of those things you pressed your nose against the window as you drove past going, if only.
Decker. Wow.
Yeah.
If people don't know anything about Decker, the only remnants of Decker that's left is in Huntley.
It was in Huntley. Everyone knows that.
It's still there.
Yeah, everyone must know
Do you
that.
know why? Because it's fucking 50 feet tall. No one can get up that high.
I just don't. I also think it's one of those things where, like, if they pull it down, what else has Huntley got?
That's kind of what it's known for. Like,
Yeah, the Decker sign. And
Yeah.
without that, yeah.
What else does Huntley have?
Rape.
Oh.
A lot of rape.
A lot of like, this is coming from a guy who was born and raised in Palmy. Like, I'm no better.
No,
if anything,
but-
I feel like I'm allowed to shit on other towns because
And
I'm
Huntley's
in
one
there
of
with
them,
you.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I kind of rip my South Auckland side, but like more than I should. But just because to get away from I'm not just Palmy.
I like ripping my South Auckland side.
Yeah, like
I was born and raised.
yeah, I say that. I kind of was.
I kind of wasn't,
Well, see, every school holidays, like Tasha was there for a lot of them. That was when there was the train was still going. We'll catch the overnight train.
Yes!
It was a fucking
Good
overnight
times.
train, man. Like you know, like because it was cool because they had the what do you call it, the little restaurant in there. It was
Yeah, the cafe
around the
cart.
clock. You know, that was back in the days when I actually slept. So you'd sleep and wake up, and next
Yeah.
thing you knew, in Papakura, Cuzzy Ray and whatnot. Like
Good times.
yeah, and then I put my brown face on
Yeah.
for 2 weeks, and then come back to Palmy and.
Did you, like, what we used to do is Mum would make up a bunch of sandwiches for us, right? And put us on the train. And then when we left Auckland to come back, because so we could get off at Papakura, Dad, being who he was like, I'm not making you sandwiches. What's wrong with you? So he would take us to the countdown that's opposite the Papakura rail station. There's a countdown
Yeah,
right
right,
there.
that's right.
He would take us in there and just buy us like chocolate and fizzy drinks and shit. You know, stuff we wanted. He'd be like, whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then he'll just give us like $10 each, and be like, just go to the food cart. So we would always go, and they did American hot dogs.
Oh, I knew I should have cut you off. Like, I was
Yeah.
going to ask you, do you remember the American hot dogs?
Yeah, they were great.
That was all I had on there.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, that's my
Yeah.
greatest memory. Like, Just
And
American hot dogs. It's so
at first
fucking-
we got-
so fucked up. You said that.
At first we would get pies, but they would like microwave them until they were like thermonuclear pies, so you couldn't eat them for like 9 more
So you got
towns.
to like the
Yeah.
spiral.
Yeah, to the Railroad spiral. Yeah, that's it. Because if you got into Hamilton, yeah, you had to wait till fucking ages before that pie was cool enough to eat.
This is like spend a little extra money to get the American hot dog.
Yeah, so we did. We changed. We got the American hot dogs instead
So it
because they were
wasn't
great.
just because there was like, yes, they were the greatest.
Yeah, those overnight trips were fantastic though. Like those overnight train trips because
I remember how much they cost. It was $120 each way, so it was $240 return. I remember.
Is that
that.
right?
Yeah.
fuck, it's actually more dear than I thought it would be.
Oh yeah, we lived lavishly back then.
Considering it was a pretty shit service.
It was pretty shit though. Even to the right to the end, like go in between carts. I'm just like, so what's stopping me is this little like chain
Little chain, yeah, a
and
little
this
walkway.
like tarpaulin
Yeah,
to the elements, like
yeah.
to scare the shit out of me.
And you'll get between them, and all you'd smell is cigarettes
Because there was a cigarette area, like
because you could go there and smoke.
yeah, but Dad was a frequenter there, like.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, like people thought I was a smoker at primary school because Dad was like Dad was
was
like
a
a chain,
big smoker. Yeah,
but he started smoking when he was 10. It was
Jesus.
the norm. That was back in the day where like smoking was kind of like where there was a time where it was healthy. Like it's like, have you got asthma? Like you should smoke to kill the bugs.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Doctors would be like, "Calm down, have a cigarette."
Have a cigarette, like nicotine. Hi, I'm Troy McClure.
Yeah,
Smooth taste of Marlboro.
yeah. I do miss those train trips. Me and my sister would love them.
They stopped doing them.
Yeah, yeah. Now you can go every other day.
Like I think the overnight ones.
They're gone.
finished. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gone. And you got real dodgy characters on there.
Yeah,
Guys
they
just
just you know.
Trying to kind of have a wank in their chair. Well, that was me.
Here is 11, 12 years old, and you're just like left on this train full of weirdos.
Wow.
Like,
With
so
your
like,
Walkman.
so 2, 4, 6, like easily a good maybe like 8 to 10 weeks a year. I was right smack bang in South Auckland,
Yeah.
and that was enough to, like, I started talking like that and then whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, like I don't want to be around this bullshit. I'm gonna go back to Palmy, not come back for a while, and get my head
Yeah.
in them books. Got rid of the accent because I had a pretty hardcore like, yeah, bro, like.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck, it was straight up, bro. Like, that's how I talk normally, bro. Like, it was nothing. And I got rid of it, but the word asked,
Oh, okay.
that lingered, like, right to the end of high school.
Yeah.
That's... But when... It's kind of like, when you talk like when you kind of, like, talk like this, bro, like, you say asked, it kind of just fits in,
Yeah.
you know, with your, you know, vernacular.
Yeah.
But when you're speaking well-spoken English and you say asked, it's very
Asked.
polarized. People, like, stop what they're doing.
Mm.
You know, they'll stop stop doing, like, did you say asked? I was like, oh, it took me years to get rid of that.
Is there any other words you're constantly like? Or here's a better question: is there any other words that still come out in the South African in the South Auckland accent?
Nah, it's only when I'm around, like,
You're around
said
those
folk.
people.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid that. I was trying to avoid saying that. It's like,
Whoops.
those people, yeah, like, sorry, mum. Like,
I don't mean that. I mean
nah.
Aucklanders.
yeah, like, you know, those other ones,
Yeah.
they all sort of, you know,
Them Auckland scum.
they all
Yeah.
congregate, like in the southern areas.
Hold on, let's edit that. Is there-
Like,
and now I'm hearing that I'm like, I should really change the word.
those people, like, mum's got 101 words she can't say to this day, or like, but
Yeah.
like I said, like to sort of like, you know, say like imitate mum,
Yeah.
like, or like she's from a lot, like brothers and sisters, like all my aunties and uncles, she's the only one that hooked up with a white person, so just over the years, like her English is like compared to everyone else, she doesn't really have, like to me, she doesn't have the accent at all, like.
It's very slight.
Very, yeah. So,
Yeah.
but imitating her, you can't help but put on the fob accent,
The whole 9 yards.
and it makes you feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like
See, when I'm entertaining my mum, because my mum's from Chile,
yeah.
so she was born there and she came over here and she was a late teen.
Okay, same as my mum. So,
yeah.
like, what's her to this day? What's her? Does she have a bit of
She still has quite an accent.
quite thick? Like,
Yeah, not super thick. Not like, I mean, I've met other Chileans or South Americans, you know, who are more, and they're strong. But it's kind of in between. A bit like your mum, like it's still there,
Yeah.
but it's not super strong. But when we imitate her, we don't do her voice. We do Consuela's voice from
Oh, really?
Family Guy. Yes.
Yeah.
No, no, no,
Oh, no,
no,
no.
no lemon pledge.
No, diabetes.
Yeah, that's her voice. So whenever we
Right.
imitate her, that's the voice we do for like everyone's. And when she comes on Family Guy, everyone's like, "Oh, it's your mum." I'm like, yeah.
Like, yeah, she really should have thought of another, like a Spanish person.
But
like,
it's spot on. Like the way she acts is kind of spot on.
what,
Like my mum's always cleaning.
always cleaning, like just
non-stop.
like soft spoken,
Yeah.
like just huggable as,
I wouldn't go that
lovable.
far.
Nah,
No.
no.
Gotta
I'm
draw a
forced
line
to love
somewhere.
you. Yeah,
But yeah, my mum still has a lot of words where you have to be like, what?
yeah,
Potato was one of them.
yeah. Or she'll say things like "sweep the broom," like she'll say it in like
Yeah.
a decently good sounding English. Or when I'm along, like last thing, like close friends. Like he surprised me last year at the crack out with the Cuzzies show at the Globe.
Yeah.
He just turned up. I haven't seen him for over a year. He lives in Wanganui, like here in that tat studio. Like his name's Tristan.
Yeah.
To this day, Mum can't say his name. She can't say Tristan. Tristram.
I was going to say, did she put a CH in there or something?
She's everything but Tristan. She's
Oh, that's
terrible.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like Tristan, Tristram, Tristram.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh dear Lord, maybe I should put on the accent and then it will be like, she's. What did Tom Segura say? Like, did you drive to work or did someone drop you off?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, a little bit special. So one thing I want to ask you, like,
Yeah.
how long have you, like, been aware that you got battles with mental health?
Yeah.
And because you were telling me last week, like, it got diagnosed with, like, you actually went to a GP and sort of voiced it to him.
Yeah.
That was like over a year ago, right?
Yes, it was I was trying to remember after that. Like, I was thinking for ages and I can't quite remember. It's been a year, at least. And I know that because I have to go back quarterly and I've gone back at least 4 times.
Right.
So I figure like it must be a year. I've known for ages.
Like, to the point where you knew what it was, not like, what do I
No,
feel like this?
I just knew there was something wrong,
Yeah.
but I didn't know what it was.
How long has that date been?
Since before I was married. And we've been married for 13 years. No, longer than that. But in the last 5 years, that's when it sort of got to the point, it got bad, got worse. And then last year, Jen, my wife, who's been just so awesome, was like, you need to go and be brave now and go do something about this. So she was kind of the catalyst behind it. So then I went to the doctors and was like... So as Cal said earlier, like I'm pretty shit about talking about things, and Cal's really good at talking about things.
I wish there was a fly on the wall of you trying to yarn to the GP about what exactly was wrong with you.
It was pretty shit. Like, it was pretty bad. And so my doctor's South African, which isn't vital to the story, but makes it real funny.
Is it because they're all dead inside and have no feelings?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far, but most of them.
But yeah, so that's...
You can't come through apartheid and be like, we're very emotionally aware people.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck, cut that.
I was going to add on so many bad things.
Yeah, well, let's just keep it moving.
Just fidgeted with my pocket.
Yeah, so I went and I had to try and describe to the doctor what was going on, and I really struggled. Like, I'm sitting there for 10 minutes trying to be like, I'm sad.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you feeling sad now? I'm like, well, no, but anyway, so eventually we got through it after a lot of verbal diarrhea.
Was he quite black and white, like quick with his response? You've got depression, I'll put you on a course of these antidepressants.
No, he was kind of like, he asked several questions. Cool. And he's like, what's your biggest issue? Like, what's your biggest thing and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
He's a good doctor. He is a real good doctor. So then he was like, well, look, there's like 100 different medications you can go on, right?
Yes.
So he's like, I've had really good experiences with this medication. So he's like, let's try you on this medication first, and then we will... Oh, sorry, I should actually go back. So there's more to the story than that. Previously, when I lived in Auckland, so when we were first married, I went to a doctor and I explained all that. And he put me on some medication, but I hated the medication.
Yeah, it's very much trial and error.
It is. It didn't agree with me. It left me like really numb. So instead of feeling depressed or happy, I just felt nothing all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I just constantly felt...
That's a real common side, like, outcome with all these, a lot of them.
So I kind of gave up on it. So this time I said, well, I tried this stuff last time. And he's like, okay, well, he's like, that stuff's good. It's just not for you. He's like, we'll try you on this stuff. So then he put me on something different. And it took about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's
4 to 8 weeks. So
yeah.
Bang on timeline, like.
Yeah, it took about that. Maybe 5 weeks.
It took like 4 to 5 weeks until it was like noticeable, like something was different.
Yeah.
Within you? Okay.
Yeah. So I started feeling a bit different. And then I think it was after about 10 weeks, it was like, okay, this is working really well. And don't get me wrong, like there are still like, the side effects now aren't emotional, they're physical, which really sucks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he's like, the doctor, and he told me all this, he's like, it'd be hard to lose weight. And I'm like, I'm not planning on losing any. He's like, but when you do, I'm like, not a problem. I get real dry mouth. So wherever I go, I have to take water because I'm constantly thirsty.
Yeah.
It makes me sleepy. So I have to take it at night.
Okay.
Yeah, so I take it right before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
But then I wake up a lot because I get thirsty. Because it leaves you with a real dry mouth. And for some people it affects like their kidneys or whatever. You know what I mean?
Those
like
are the longer term, like
yeah,
you're only a year in, right? So
yeah, exactly. So that's why I have to go back once a quarter to like once a quarter he'll like do my bloods.
Yeah, cool.
And then the next time I go, the next quarter he'll just do like a blood pressure and shit like that. And then so every 6 months I'm having to get my bloods done. Which is fine. I'm not afraid of needles. I fucking love them.
Put it in my vein.
Yeah. Needles don't bother me because like I'm covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
So that's like a needle moving in and out like 900 times a minute, a second or something. So.
But as long as you stay on there,
yeah.
That's a whole another yarn of my years and
yeah.
years of going through like prescription drugs and the side effects and then the flow-on effect and then next you're taking a wrath of different pills. Like, sounds like you're found one that works for you. Like, it's lucky.
It works pretty good.
You've only tried one time, so this is like your second attempt at it, and you found one that works. Like,
yeah, I don't get wrong. Like,
it's awesome.
It could work better.
I'm not jealous at all.
It could, but I mean, everyone has different symptoms. That's the thing. Like, that's the thing that I've found, like researching and talking to people and stuff like that. Is like
everyone's different.
Yeah, everyone has different types of depression and different like depression shows in different ways.
Yeah, and one thing I always tell people, like we touched on it a little bit last week, like reminding people that the drug is not the answer. It's kind of like if you're trying to get in shape and lose weight, people don't realize like a good, I don't know in terms of percentages. Let's say like it's over 50%. Let's say like 60 to 70% of it is actually diet, not the exercise or the gym. Like, so like in terms of antidepressants, like it's only doing like a third of the job. It's kind of like if you have eczema, like putting cream on your eczema, like it doesn't cure the problem. It helps, like as long as you realize that it's part of the battle. The big part is still because you've still got that all that shit like swirling around, like it still like sits there, like it just you haven't unloaded it. You got to find your way of doing that. Otherwise, it's gonna sit there. Like all you're doing is masking all the stuff that you've still got going on.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's the big, like, if you can find a way to do that whilst on a medication that works, you're like, you're.
It's a bit of a bridge to get you to the other side.
As long as you realise that, though, like.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And I guess for some people, like I've talked to my doctor, I was like, "Is this like, do I have to take this forever?" And he's like, "You take it till you feel you don't need to." Do you know what I mean? Like you take it till whatever.
I know people that have done like,
and it could be years.
Yeah, they feared time on antidepressants, but now they don't have it anymore. Like but they addressed it like
Yeah.
So like so like trying to relate to what you were telling me about how you're for a guy who's so well spoken, like let's not remember like 3-time Comedy Hub Male Comedian of the Year.
Yeah. So I'm just picking meat from my teeth. Yeah.
So like ribs.
It was ribs.
Because I had really I
had ribs for lunch. A whole rack.
Oh man, that's so good, man. Like what was it? Like
Well spoken.
yeah, like for a well spoken dude, like but for that particular subject, it's just so hard for you, like because I can't relate to that. I can talk about anything. Like,
To anyone.
Well, like who I choose
just
to,
about
but like
anyone,
I can talk about anything. There's nothing off limits. I can just say it how it is, like quite easily. So to sit in front of someone who finds it really difficult, I'm like, what exactly do you find difficult? Like, let's find out. Like, that's a good little thing
so
to sort of peel back and figure out.
So I think for me, it's a big component of change in my life has been my wife, obviously. So because
she's amazing, dude.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me, like by far. Like because of her, we've got a house and 4 kids and like a garage.
She's a hell of a cook.
She is. She's amazing. Great in the sack. We better edit that. Right. She will fucking kill me.
Oh no, you said far worse on stage with her.
I know.
So.
I know. So with her, like she's always. I use the word pressure, but I use it in a positive way. Like she's always pressuring me to like. She's like, you need to communicate with me more, and she's right. I 100% don't deny it. And again, I mean pressure is a good way. Like she's trying to coach me into talking more. So for me, I guess my goal of this is to be more comfortable. Like as Cal said, he can talk to anyone. I'm quite the opposite, Liz. I'm very reserved about talking about that sort of stuff. But I have to use his example to be better at communicating with her at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. Like for me, it's 100%. About like if I can sponge off him a bit, I'll be better with her.
Yeah, find your way, like find a way that works for you. Like I think the best way to do it is maybe like, there'll be moments where you sort of have to sit back and listen to a few of my yarns, like because some of them are for some will be quite uncomfortable. Again, I'm completely comfortable with like in my own skin in terms of like talking about this stuff because I know everyone goes through shit. I'm not. It just takes a few people to, like Mike King when he came out like early on, when everyone knew him as a comedian, and all of a sudden he came out like in the media. He was crying and saying like about how he's been that close to committing suicide and blah blah blah. Like that took balls because that was before that was kind of, even a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can go as far into things in detail.
Yeah.
And I'm completely fine with it. Like And like like before last week happened, we just met up, and you were saying to me like, if either just reach out, don't even think twice, reach out. You're like, fuck it, actually, just come over. Like
totally.
Like, and then just so happened a few days later, I was going through like the worst like sort of the first time I think where I was really like, I don't think I'm gonna see my daughter in the morning. Like I don't think I'm gonna. I told you. Oh, did I tell you? Like so at night, like I go out for a cigarette, have my headphones on. I usually go out into the garage.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I told you this. Like, so when like I walked outside, I went around the corner of the house, and then I looked at the garage.
Yeah.
And it was just so like bluntly like I said to myself, like fuck, like if I go in there, I don't think I'm gonna come out of there.
Yeah.
And I said it just so chill, like but I was dead serious, like because that was that Wednesday night.
Yep.
So that Wednesday night it was about 1 a.m. I looked at the garage. I'm like, if I walk in there, I don't think I'm gonna walk out of there.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll just like not go in there, like.
Yeah.
But then I was sitting on the doorstep, like having a cigarette, and then I'm like, come on, Kels, that was pretty. Like, that's pretty chilling, like. Because like I wasn't like I don't know if I had a really strong feeling that I was not going to come out of there.
Yeah.
And I will be found by like like my daughter or something. So like, and then the next morning, like I'd already told my brother.
Yeah.
I talked to my mum, And then we're in the middle of a conversation about dumplings. I'm like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
we
Yeah,
could be talking about dumplings, but I kind of feel like
yeah.
this
We
is
should talk
more-
about this.
But you did say like, you know, I said to you sort of like just before I told you what was going on. I'm
Yeah.
like, you did say like you sort of extend your hand out like
Yeah,
if you need help, like reach out. And I'm like, this is me reaching out. So
yeah. And I say that to a lot of people, but I don't mean it for a lot of people.
But that was rare for me. I don't usually
Yeah,
get.
like for you, I meant it, but for a lot of people, I'm like, well, if you need anything, and I'm just like, don't fucking.
Yeah,
call
I'm
me.
just like, I hope there's not one of those things where people are like, what are you up to this weekend? Oh, we're moving. Like, oh, you're moving house. Like, let me know if you need a hand. But immediately, you're like, please
Yeah,
don't. Like,
please don't.
I don't want to.
And I say, do you need a hand? I mean, I have a trolley. You can borrow it. Yeah.
We have like dressing tables and a grand piano that we need a flight of stairs. Like, I'm like, god damn it. Like, but you know, so that was a big deal for me. Like,
Yeah.
and then I reached out to two others. You know, like that aren't my mum or brother.
Yeah.
And then, like you came on your lunch break. Like the other, he came the next day. He
Yeah.
was in Wanganui, and the other like after he finished work came round,
Mm.
and yeah, there was a big deal like for me.
Yeah.
But it helped a hell of a lot instead of trying to fight these battles on your own. Like share that burden with people. Like you,
Yeah.
because you know like, but that was the first time where I was like shit like. I'm not gonna like, and if it got any worse, like that point where you're not really behind the wheel anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't trust my, like my, you know, organically I'd sort of go back into sync and then I'll be sweet after a day or
Yeah.
two. I didn't trust I'd get out of that rut
Yeah.
and sort of identifying that and not fucking around and be like,
Yeah.
I need to reach out. Like, but I've been to that point a good half a dozen times in the last couple of years, and this was the one where I'm like, I'm not going to get out of this.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I guess that's why I get kind of uptight when people talk about how suicide is, it's selfish. Like,
Yeah.
well, that people need to realize that it wasn't whoever it was that did that. Like, it's not right at the end. Like, it's not them behind the wheel. Like,
Yeah.
they've already gone. Like, it's,
Yeah.
the disease has taken over. Like, or I talk about like that. Like, you know, I always use that like the World Trade Center when that happened and people were jumping off like 70 like story building. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, can you imagine like the flames that are like all around you? Imagine that's like life. Like
Yeah.
it's just it hurts. It's burning like to the point you can't take it anymore. All of a sudden, jumping from 70 stories up is
Yeah.
like you'd pay big money just to do that. Like it's like that's the dream to like
Yeah.
get away from that. Like all of a sudden, that you know, suicide is not. It's obviously an exaggerated example, but that kind of like
It makes sense though.
puts in the context like people
Yeah.
you don't realize like your brain, especially like ours, because like well, we're not dumb, that's for sure. We're pretty bloody smart. Like the brain's powerful, right? But then if it's got if it's like a disease,
Yeah.
like where like is a chemical imbalance in your brain where you, it's not like oh I feel sad, like you know it's raining today, like
Yeah.
like it's it goes far deeper than that.
Yeah.
Where it affects like literally like the cognitive processes that your brain goes through, the chemical imbalance in your entire body where it's not you anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's some serious shit. Like
Yeah.
it's a disease like that, and if you don't like find a way to, you're never going to get rid of it for a lot of people. But if you don't find a way to cope with it,
Yeah.
and you sort of just like shut off from the world, or it's like oh she'll be right, I can get through this. Like you're a ticking time bomb. Like
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people get so deep in it they can't get out,
Yeah. That's right.
and it's a horrible disease, man.
Yeah.
It needs to be talked about more.
Fully.
Too many dudes are suffering quietly. And it just takes a few people to be brave enough, or I don't think it's brave, but you know, it's the best way to describe it, to sort of like step forward and be like, oh, this is what I go through.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, you know.
And there are a few, like we already said, Mike King, JK, who was an All Black, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had a big, massive ad campaign for ages and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Another one before its time, like to sort of step out, like that was big.
yeah, oh for sure, it was massive, and especially because he's and still is very revered to your blokes. You know
Yeah,
what I
he's
mean?
an
Like,
All
oh
Black.
JK, you know,
Like JK.
good old JK.
Fuck, still sad cat? Nah.
Yeah, got the boo-hoos.
You got the it's just like,
But it is becoming more and more recognised, and even like recently there was Adam Squire, who was an All Black as well, and like he got injured, and then they're like, "Oh, you can come back now," and he's just like, "No, I can't." He's like, "I mentally cannot come back
Is
and
that
play."
Liam Squire?
Oh, sorry, what did I say?
He's a local boy too.
Did I say Adam?
Say Adam. It was just as a
Adam's
white.
this dude I meet in the alley. Well, that's another day. There's another story.
Liam, Adam, they're both quite white names. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So
Yeah. That's
I think what we'll do is just for the people who are listening, we'll give a bit of information. We'll wrap up.
Yeah, because we're still trying to find our way. We don't even know if we're going to use this. This could be just a dry run. Like
I think we'll use it. I just don't know if we'll use all of it. I think I'm definitely going to edit out those people. When you're around those people.
Oh, I'm talking about how
that
you
bit's gonna be
bash
cut out.
coconuts quite like. you kind of did because like.
No, see, now I'm going to leave it in just to redeem myself.
Though, like maybe like
Yeah.
if my mum was listening to this, did you hear what he said? Those people. He's talking about you, mum.
I was talking about South Auckland.
Those people. It doesn't make it any.
So, at the moment, the goal is to do this once a week.
Yeah.
And some weeks we might not be able to because of scheduling, commitments, family, whatever, holidays, like whatever. People go on holiday. I do. Because I'm white and privileged.
Good credit.
Wouldn't go that far. So the goal is once a week, get this out on the mass. If you're listening to this and it would be us, but we might have other people.
Yeah.
On occasion.
If like we don't know, we haven't got anything planned or any foresight how we're gonna go about this, but so far my thoughts are like it's gonna be a lot of me talking about some real personal shit. Like I'm gonna like. It's about time. I've been told for years, like, you got like, such a story to tell. Like, I said one day I'll get around to, like, I'm the last person you'll catch on Facebook. I'm not talking about my feelings or blah, blah. I'm very closed off, but I've found lately, like, sharing that pain is very therapeutic.
Yeah.
And really, and what the flow-on effect is the impact you have on the people that you're sharing that with, like, it really brings everyone closer together. Like, so I think that's going to be a lot of me opening up, sharing my story, and then whenever you're ready, you can sort of just jump in with stuff. Like,
I'll jump in where I can.
Because I feel like the end goal is to, like, we've got two people here in the same depressing boat. One is very open and can articulate exactly how he feels and has all the experiences to share, and we've got another person here who wants to be able to but doesn't know how to yet. Hopefully the end result of this is
we both are in a better place. Yeah, 100%. So that's what we'll do. We'll think of a groovy name. I don't know what yet.
I don't know. And did you say groovy name?
Yeah, groovy name.
Like groovy.
Yeah. It'll be a groovy name. What? I don't get. You're really examining that word.
Yeah, where I come from, you get slapped for saying something like that. Like, did you just say a groovy name, cuz? Wow, what a dick.
Whatever.
You know how those people talk?
Yeah. So before we go, is there any? You're on social media. Do you want to put that out, or do you want to just leave it for now?
Not yet, because I'm thinking about like
something new.
No, like not just my name. Like we could think of like a group,
okay, let's do that. We'll leave it at that.
Cool.
We'll leave it at that. And we will find a way to put this up. We'll find some other cool things to go with it, and anything else.
In between now and when you hear our voices next, don't do anything that's irreversible.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you're there, reach out. Like
I feel I should do the Shortland Street thing.
Which is what? Which
is at the end of an episode of Shortland Street for those who watch. I'm not a big Shortland Street fan. I mean, I lie. My wife watches
one
it.
Of those disclaimer like
if you're feeling sad, call these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do the voice though.
Oh, how do you do the voice?
Like, like deep down, like a...
Oh, we need to get someone to record that for us, and we'll play it automatically at the end of each.
If you're feeling down or depressed, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Oh, why is it American? That'd be weird.
Cool. 0800 Lifeline.
Call 0800 Lifeline. I can't do it without doing an American.
Oh, okay.
Call 0800 Lifeline.
Yeah, that's
That's
the Kiwi one, eh? G'day. Got the
Got
boo-hoos.
the boo-hoos, feeling a bit down in the dumps.
Been to Moto 10 to buy some rope.
Thinking, fuck, where do I get through this shit? Well, you're not fucking alone. I
Yeah.
don't know why I'm swearing at the end of Shorten Street. The credits.
How about that fucking
Like,
Dr. Roparter?
How
You know?
about Chris Warren is still fucking going?
That's it, Chris Warner.
Like,
Do you know I watched it just about every episode this year, and I could not think of one fucking character. I had to do Dr. Roparter. How sad is that?
What about how, like, you know, you said it like when a new character would like burst on the scene, and it's immediately you'll be like, so what?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like 9 times out of 10, if it was a brown person, they were the ambulance crew.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Or at best a nurse, because they're racist.
Because they're racist.
Because they will only allow one brown doctor, which I think is terrible. TK is the only, and he was not even on it at the moment.
TK, that supermodel of a dude, like he.
Oh, chiseled out of stone. If I had to turn, let me tell you, he's on the list.
He's got everything going from genetics. He's got the square chin. He has the little
Yep.
cleft thing going
He
on.
could be the next Batman.
Probably less than 10% body fat. Like,
Yep.
like ripped as shit. And you're a doctor on doctor's salary. Like,
Yeah.
tell me about how hard your life is. Dude.
And he's got that voice. I'm TK.
You're like, I'm there. Well, is that your like?
That should be the Lifeline voice.
Was like, well, like kind of like a Batman, like a
Yeah. Feeling sad.
Feeling sad.
My parents were shot. Fight crime.
What do you got to cry about? Do you wear a full leather suit every day and live in a cave?
I am a bat.
Oh yeah, I didn't think so.
For years, I thought it was a man hiding as a bat.
Try not to get a speeding ticket in a Batmobile.
Where's the trigger?
It's like, how does this help me? Like, oh yeah. Well, if you need me, just shine my logo in the air and I'll come running.
The end should be like, sure, I jump off of buildings, but you shouldn't.
Oh, it's so morbid at work.
Right, let's end it there.